The city skyline glowed like molten gold as Samantha Blake, CEO of a billion-dollar tech empire, prepared for yet another blind date. To the world, she was untouchable, powerful, brilliant, and impossibly wealthy. But Samantha harbored a secret obsession, finding someone who would love her for who she truly was, not the empire she commanded. Every blind date, she faked being broke, dressing down, speaking casually, pretending to struggle financially, just to observe the reactions of her dates. Some recoiled, others acted indifferent, but every single one failed the silent test she had meticulously designed. Tonight, Samantha had little hope. Life had left her cautious, guarded, and secretly exhausted by the shallowness of human intentions. She arrived at the small diner, a place carefully chosen for its cozy charm rather than luxury. Her eyes scanned the room, landing on a man who looked ordinary at first glance. Michael Reed, a black single dad, exuded warmth, strength, and the kind of quiet dignity that immediately drew her attention. He was dressed modestly, the lines of his worn jacket hinting at a life of effort and resilience. Samantha approached, adopting her casual persona: jeans, a loose blouse, a coffee-stained smile. "Hi, I'm Sam," she said softly. Michael looked up, his eyes kind but sharp, and extended his hand. "Michael, nice to meet you." There was no hesitation, no judgment, just warmth and authenticity. As they sat, Samantha began her usual routine, dropping subtle hints of financial struggle, watching for reactions. But Michael treated her as an equal, engaging in conversation with sincerity, curiosity, and patience. Samantha felt a strange sense of relief, a hint of hope that perhaps tonight would be different. And if you're already hooked by this story, make sure to like and subscribe, because the unexpected moments coming next will leave you amazed. The conversation flowed effortlessly. Samantha spoke lightly of her jobs, the Fox rent struggles, and the odd frustrations of living paycheck to paycheck. Michael listened with genuine interest, occasionally laughing, occasionally offering empathetic insights. But what struck Samantha the most was not his words, it was his heart. He asked about her dreams, her fears, her life beyond money. He shared stories of his daughter Lily, of the challenges of raising her alone, balancing work, bills, and the joy that she brought into his life. He didn't boast, he didn't complain. He simply shared reality with dignity. Samantha realized that in all her years of blind dates, she had never encountered someone who met her emotional depth so naturally. She had expected shallow interest, superficial attraction, but Michael offered connection, authenticity, and kindness. When the waiter brought their meals, Michael insisted on splitting the bill, subtly reinforcing his respect for her equality. Samantha had anticipated annoyance, a sense of entitlement, or even disbelief. But instead, she found herself smiling, captivated by his sincerity. She began to realize that this test she had designed was not just about wealth, but about character, and Michael's heart passed her silent challenge without hesitation. As dessert arrived, Michael offered to help her with a messy slice of pie, their hands brushing lightly, a moment of human connection that sent warmth coursing through Samantha. She caught herself laughing freely, forgetting the calculations, the tests, the defenses she usually maintained. This was something real, something uncontrived, and Samantha felt a rare sense of liberation. Their conversation extended past closing time, spilling onto the quiet streets outside, where neon lights reflected softly on wet pavement. Every gesture, every smile, every word reaffirmed what Samantha had feared. She might never find a man who loved not her wealth or status, but her essence. Days passed, and Samantha couldn't stop thinking about Michael. His authenticity haunted her, his kindness replayed in her mind, and the silent magnetism between them refused to dissipate. She had planned to reveal her true identity eventually, but part of her hesitated, afraid that her world of wealth and influence might shatter the fragile bond forming. When they finally met again, she chose a quiet park, the golden afternoon sun casting warm light on the autumn leaves. She revealed the truth cautiously. "Michael, I haven't been honest. I'm not struggling financially. I'm a CEO. The empire I run is worth billions." For a brief moment, she feared his reaction. Would he feel betrayed? Would the connection vanish? But Michael merely smiled gently, his eyes reflecting understanding, admiration, and perhaps a hint of pride. "Sam," he said softly, "I liked you before I knew that." "I like you?" No hesitation, no judgment, only acceptance. Samantha felt tears prick her eyes, overwhelmed by relief and gratitude. She realized that this poor single dad, a man who struggled yet gave everything to his daughter, had seen beyond appearances, beyond tests, and had loved her for her humanity. The world of wealth, status, and power had never offered such unconditional authenticity. She knew then that no amount of money could match the integrity, warmth, and courage of this man before her. The silent test she had designed to weed out the shallow, the selfish, and the superficial had succeeded, not by design, but by the purity of his heart. In the weeks that followed, Samantha and Michael grew inseparable. She visited Lily often, helping with school projects, attending soccer games, and laughing through bedtime stories. Michael introduced her to his world, modest apartments, little victories, and the kind of love that couldn't be purchased or calculated. Together, they discovered a life beyond wealth and appearances, a life of trust, warmth, and shared responsibility. One rainy evening, as they walked hand in hand under glowing streetlights, Samantha reflected on her journey. The tests, the pretenses, and the blind dates had led her to exactly what she had been searching for, a man whose heart was richer than any fortune, whose love was genuine, and whose courage to meet her on equal ground had passed her secret challenge with flying colors. Michael looked down at her, smiling, brushing a stray strand of hair from her face. "You don't have to test me anymore," he said softly. Samantha laughed, tears in her eyes, and shook her head. "I know. I'm just glad you were real." The world outside might have been chaotic and judgmental, but in each other, they had found safety, authenticity, and a love that transcended wealth, titles, and pretense. And for everyone watching this story unfold, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because sometimes the heart sees what the world cannot, and genuine love changes everything.